Hi everybody, it's Jonathan here from HEXplore It. Welcome to our Canvas Studio Canvas giveaway. We do this every year for each of our campaigns. We're blessed with some awesome artwork, and we wanted to give it away based on how we fund. So we're going to be doing that today. We'll also talk a little bit about the game, answering questions any of you guys might have. Feel free to be active in the comment section. So I'll be checking that out as well. So I hope you guys are enjoying either Volumes 1 or Volume 2. We also have those out. We've been working really hard on getting the content ready to go. So thank you, Frank. Thank you. Hi, Martin. Numio, hello. So thanks for being here today, guys. So who's ready to see some artwork? I actually had a couple of our... Actually, this music is a little bit loud. Let me turn it down a little bit. So I had... some of our artwork created into canvas pieces just to kind of show it off. So the winners will actually be able to choose their own artwork. So you don't have to necessarily choose the ones that I've got here. So let's take a look at some of those. First of all, do you guys have any questions or anything? We'll give it a minute here. Okay. Hopefully you guys are all having a good Sunday. So let's check out some of these canvas pieces, shall we? So this is obviously our main piece here. This is the main Sands of Shurax piece here. And these are all pretty thick. You know, we've got them ready to hang on the wall. We've got little tiny pieces here that stand off the wall. So very nice and professional looking pieces. I have these done at a local place, Image 360 here in town. They do an awesome job. Tim is the owner. I've worked with him for several years. They do pretty much all of our canvases. They do some of our promotional items when we go to shows and whatnot. So, shall we look at another one? Awesome, thank you. Yeah, sleepy Sunday. It is a bit sleepy. I actually slept in today, which is unlike me. I don't necessarily do that very often, but I slept in until 9, so that was that was pretty good. We have 3 kids, so I don't really get to sleep in very often, but it's perfect. I don't mind it at all. So this is Cricket. This is our boss, our second boss in the Sands of Shurax. Cricket is actually a character that you can find in the game. If you have the expansion, you can actually find Cricket. He is a boss, but he has a bribe value. So the whole idea with Cricket is if you bribe him with platinum, he will join your group. And now you have a second level boss that you get to journey around with in the game. So I was a big fan of the Dark Sun series. If any of you played, role played, second edition D&D, I used to play Dark Sun so much, and I loved the Thri-Kreen race. They were such a neat race. In fact, Troy Denning had some artwork on these as well. So that's kind of where this guy was inspired from. And we also have them as a playable race. So if you have the expansion, you can also play as one of these guys. So that is our Cricket piece. All right, this is one of our bosses as well. So this one was Pylenkikne, the Chaos Bearer. And he is actually a demigod. So the whole idea with Piley, we call him for short here. And this was actually one of our content creators created this boss. Um, so Piley here is a terrible uh, god who basically um, is our, I believe he's our 8th level boss in this game. And he basically, as the battle goes on, he will actually cause mutations to fall onto our heroes. So it's kind of a fun thing that when they fight him, not only do they gain mutations, but your heroes will also be teleported across the map. So randomly, as you fight Pelenkikne, he will be teleporting you to other locations on the board, and that's a super fun kind of a secondary thing that he has available to him. So that is Pelenkikne. Yeah, Frank, no Packers game. You know, it's funny. I'm actually a Bears fan. And I say that in all honesty, but I was never really a big sports fan. I know, strange. Um, I married my wife, and she is a diehard Bears fan. So I inherited my Bears heritage from her. I knew it was good for me, so that's why. All right, let's take a look at another one. All right, which one is this one? Okay, this one is also one of our content created, one of our fan created bosses, and this is Amanzu, the Scorpion King. So Amanzu is a terrible Skirpine that is also a playable race. Um, And this one actually is a 3rd level boss. He lays on poison and is a pretty terrible boss to face early game. But he provides some really cool interactions as well. So that is our Amon Zoo character here. Well, hello, Shy. Happy Sunday to you. Oh, I see Vikings fan and Bill and Browns. Yeah, Bills. Cool. Well, thanks for coming and thank you for taking your day to be here today. All right, so let's take a look. This is our last one. This is probably my favorite art of the game so far. We have been just so lucky to continue to produce awesome art. We're working with several artists now, and they're all just doing amazing jobs. All of these pieces were done by Yanis, and he is just knocking them out of the park. In fact, we're linked up with him on our Facebook page. But yes, amazing artwork. Now this is the Phoenix. The Phoenix is our 9th level boss. And the way the Phoenix battle works is you actually have to defeat the Phoenix multiple times. Each time it dies, it reincarnates during the battle. So you actually have to, take it completely down to 0 health 5 times for this thing to actually die. Now, if you have a sapper in the group, the resurrection will only occur if it has energy. So sappers become really powerful in the battle with the Phoenix, which if you're a party of sappers, you could probably take on this 9th level boss a little earlier than a normal group. So that gives them access to a ton of power if you're playing the sapper route. So multiple ways of playing the game, but this is one of those fun ones that we've developed here. So that is our Phoenix. I hope you guys like it. The pangolin. Yeah, yeah. You know, I was thinking that the pangolin was one of my favorites too. In fact, all of our bosses this year have been just. It seems like every year they just improve in quality. So we're really excited about all of those. In fact, I could probably bring up the pangolin. All right. Let me see if I can find that one here. Bear with me, thank you. See if I can get this here. There we go. So there's our pangolin. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one too. In fact, you guys can see all of the artwork that we've got so far. Um, yeah, he's hungry too. I think he's hangry, I think is the term. I'm sure he's eaten all of those poor adventurers out in the wastes already. So, um, actually, let me just show you. We actually have all of our um, badges. Let me just copy this into here so you guys can see all of the artwork that we've got in the queue for each of our um, different games. Um, you can kind of go through, roll through those, and just kind of take a look at all of the different pieces that we've created in the HEXplore It universe so far. We actually will have the winners who gain the canvas piece will be able to pick any of these to have a canvas created of it, and we would be basically rebuilding a new canvas for each request. So feel free to check that out, and you know, you can download them and use them for, you know, profiles, that kind of thing. All right. Oh, and actually this one right here. So this one is going to be, I don't know how familiar you guys are with the lineages. So we actually we're renaming lineages to be aspects. It fits the kind of the profile of what it does a little bit better. So this is actually going to be our aspect card image. In fact, let me see if I can pull one of those up for you. So just like the race cards, um, we have the aspect cards, and if we look at, let's see if I can find it here. All right, so this is going to be our aspect, the back of our aspect cards. Just like we have races, you'll be able to augment your heroes with aspects. In the campaign, we publish them as lineages, but aspect actually works a little bit better. You can gain the Fey aspect. You can gain, you know, the kind of the Underdark aspect. We're going to be releasing, you know, a ton of different new ones in the future, and it's something that you could even gain during gameplay. So we're really excited about a lycanthropy aspect that will be gained in the next game. So that's the domain of Mirza Noctis. I'm probably saying too much, so I'm going to stop talking. I like to go future, so I need to rein it back a little bit. I don't want to give away all the goodies. So that is that. Let's take a look at what else we have here. We've got a bunch of new encounter artwork. So we have the amber scorpion swarm. So that's one item that we've built into the new games here. The Sands of Shurax is the ability for you to actually face hordes and swarms. It's an entirely new way to have combat, and we're really excited about it because it really increases the kind of the dangerous feeling that you might have when you're encountering new foes. The battles will all play much differently, and you will be really looking at the strategy of, am I going to try and lock down this attack, or am I going to try and reduce their outlast value? And their outlast value is how you will defeat the swarm or horde. So it's a fun thing, and that's an awesome look at what this swarm might look like. So yeah, that's a really good question. The question is, will the entire HEXplore It line be fantasy, or is there room for more sci-fi? Yes. For the 6 games that we have planned, it is mostly confined to the fantasy genre, but I'm an exhorter. That means basically I'm always looking toward the future, and I get my energy kind of dreaming up what things could be. So we definitely have plans for offshoots of the line if we're lucky enough to get that far. Obviously, I don't know what the future can bring, but it is in my kind of in my to-do list to look into other options. We would love to do sci-fi. We would love to do steampunk. We would love to do, heck, we could, if we did like a Marvel, if we were able to get the rights to do a superhero one, that would be pretty cool. Or maybe even a modern day mix of kind of all of these. So yeah, it would be really neat if we could expand and branch out. But for the theme of this game, we are definitely looking at more fantasy based. That being said, our next game, Domain, will introduce things like guns, maybe some, being able to work with that type of equipment. So there's a little bit of bleed, I think, into the different genres. So the 3 released can be used together. So yeah, Lord Talisman. That's a good question. So we're developing rules where you can play 2 games at once, but we are not developing rules where you can combine all of them in one game. That doesn't mean that it can't be done, but with the amount of table space required, we would definitely be looking at more fan-based creations, tying all of the games together. That being said, we are building in tons of little tiny mechanisms that can be helpful if you have multiple games. So, for instance, if you're playing Sands of Shurax, Dria is one of the 4 city-states. You can actually buy items from any of the locations, any HEXplore It game. So you can find all sorts of items in their marketplace. If you're playing with the Forest of Adramon, let's say you have influenced Hathawir, which is... let me find Hathawir. She is right here. So if you influence Hathawir, for instance, now you can actually call on Hathawir to take you to great trees that are on the board. So imagine influencing Hathawir, and then she can actually fly you into the Sands of Shurax because we have placed a couple of great tree locations in that spot. So let's actually take a look at the world map for the Sands of Shurax here. It'll be just a minute while I pull it open here. Yeah, you would definitely need a lot of table space to open to play all of these games at once. So let me just pull this open. This is going to show you the final world map for the Sands of Shurax. And what you're going to see, if I can make this a little bigger here. Alright, so this is the final world map of Sands of Shurax. And you're going to see that there are a few great trees on the board. So you will be able to use Hathawir to take you to these different locations. Oh, this is really low res. Hang on a minute. Let me turn on high quality here for you. Will you be able to buy the game's world maps? Yeah, possibly. We are not necessarily... we don't have a combined world map yet, but we are working on one where it will show all of the different regions, and it'll show, you know, the different, how they all interlock, and where the Runecrest Valley is compared to the Greenfire Forest, compared to Sands of Shurax, compared to the next games. So we're really excited to show that. We have, you know, here's the Tari region that kind of shows where the Ravager surfaced for the first time. It kind of goes through and shows all of these different locations. So awesome. So that's a good question. I think at some point we will be able to offer that, but again, I'm not sure when. I think it would require us to have all of the maps kind of completed. Once that happens, it's likely that we would offer, you know, a gigantic map with all of the locations. I'm a huge map fan. Back when I used to roleplay, I used to be our DM, and I used to create maps like crazy. I think I have 150 maps, something like that I've created over the years. And so it is definitely one of those things that I've really enjoyed, and I put a lot of time into the maps. Alvaro is our artist who does the map, and I walk behind him, and then I kind of tinker with the textures that he builds to create the maps that you see in the game. So, and then he goes back after me on a final pass to add in tiny details. So it works really good, and we're really excited about how that works. Yeah, and even if we did kind of a world map that was a combined one, that you could actually play that instead of using, like, if it were a poster, a fairly large poster, you know, really nice quality, you could lay that out and then play on that. That would be kind of a neat way to do it. So, okay, so shall we do some random giveaways here? I think the time is right. It was a map cartographer contest that got you started. Yes, it was. So Cartographers Guild. Maybe I should. Let me see if I can pull open the first map and show you guys what that looked like. I don't know where I have it stashed. It might take me a minute to find it, but I should show you that initial map that I created a while ago, and it kind of gives you a little background into how HEXplore It kind of came to be. So, you know what? I might have to save this for another day. I'm not sure where I have that located. Yeah, I don't want to keep you guys waiting. I'm sorry. Okay, so Yeah, neoprene. I was actually looking into that. We had done a quote with Panda Manufacturing for the neoprene mats, and we can definitely get them. The question I have is, I need to figure out the logistics on what it does to shipping, because the type of mat that we would need would be really large. In fact, I have one here from Panda that I use. So this is kind of the neoprene map that I have, that I kind of would envision a great map, to be. That would be kind of a neat way to do a hex map on that kind of a neoprene. Okay, so I believe you are. Are you one of our backers? If you're one of our backers, you should be on that list. So let me see if I can do a search here. Yep. So you're number 170. So we can make sure that you guys are on there. But I was initially hugely influenced. Yes, librarian. That would be an awesome one too. We do have the historian. So the historian actually acts just like the librarian, and that was our kind of our librarian variant. So the historian is able to basically learn runes that he can cast, and he can affect the party. He can either heal them, increase their damage. In fact, the historian is one of my favorites, and you get to learn new favorite opponents as you gain more power. So definitely like the historian. Okay, so I think we are ready to go. Why don't we get out some random numbers here? So I'm just at random.org, and I'm going to put in our total number here. Our total number is 2352. So let's do this. 2352. Should we generate some random numbers to begin with, just to like get started, get our feet wet a little, or should we just jump right in? What do you think? I'd like to hit people with my books too. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. We're so aggressive, aren't we, as adventurers? But there's a lot of bad guys out there, so we have to be aggressive, right? All right, jump in. So we're gonna do the first one. 1, 2, 3, go. 2201. All right, so let's find 2201. Now this is, let me just show you this. This is our backer number, but because certain backers dropped out, we are actually going by drawing number, okay? So it's not by backer number. You could never randomize that because of dropouts. So we are using this column A here. So we are going to do another find. And here we go. Wade. Wade is winner number 1. So Wade Wolfley, you are our first winner. All right, so we have 4 left to go. Toes are wet. Yep, we're wet. All right, well, that sounded questionable. Next up, we're gonna generate one more. 1085. And let's find that. And we have Dan. Just simply Dan. So Dan, good job being one of our backers. Winner number 2 is Mr. Dan. Okay, and we are giving away 5 total canvases based on the funding level. It was for every $50,000 that we raised, we were giving away one of our canvases. So we have 3 left to give away. All right, 3, 2, 1, Dan the man. 1375. All right, 1375. And we have Ant Atkins. So winner number 3. Okay, congratulations, Ant Atkins, on that win. And then we have Wade, Dan, and Ant so far. So let's do another one here. We have 761. 761. Let's find who this is. 761, not 1761. It's not 2761. Waffles are the best. Waffles are the best. That's a pretty great name, not gonna lie. Winner number 4 is Waffles are the best. All right, so we have one more left to give away. Let's go ahead and do it. We're going to generate that number. Let's see what we have. And 3, 2, 1. 1652. So 1652. Waffles are the best. There we have it. Gino Lucero. Winner number 5. Awesome. So we have some winners. So that is awesome. You know, last year we actually gave away, I think we gave away 2 extras. This year I'm going to be giving away 1 extra. So we'll roll the dice one more time and see what we come up with. We were really close to breaking that last 50,000. So I feel like we're gonna just do it. So one more. Good luck. 2184. Did we get that one already? Probably not. 2184. And that is Samuel Lamb. Winner number 6. All right, so that's it. Awesome. Thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for being there for us during the campaign. Thanks for making it happen. We're super excited about kind of where we're at and moving into the future. I've been working nonstop. Our team has been working nonstop. Just trying to get as much done and finished up so that we can move into the next phase. So I've got some art yet to do. We have several pieces yet that we're working on. In fact, because this is kind of the art, I guess, video, why don't I show you an in progress that we have of one of our exclusive roles for the expansion. So there are 3 of them. So why don't I pull that open so you guys can check that out. And it will be just one moment. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Jason. Thank you guys for being so awesome and supportive. Okay, so are you ready? We're going to take a look at one of our guys here. This is going to be, sorry, I'm sidetracked for a moment. We are going to look at one of our exclusive roles. This is not completed yet. He is our Pridekin champion. So the champion is able to do all sorts of cool things. And he is going to be the Pridekin is a race that you can play, half lion. They can alter the group's reputation. and they can roar and do a special ability that locks down your opponent. This guy here, you can probably, well, you can kind of see his axe. Let me just move it over here. So he's got a crystalline axe. So we're really excited about those last art pieces that we've got in the pipeline. And then obviously we have a bunch of legendaries that we're going to be creating as well. So we've got several pieces to do yet. So I'm really excited. Thanks again for being here today, you guys. Do you guys want to ask any questions while you have me here on the video? I'd love to answer anything you might have for me. And I will certainly, be following up with more news in the future. So yeah, so sounds good. Any teasers for the next game? Any looked at the art for the box for character boards? So the teasers for the next game we're keeping a little bit close at hand, only because we want to save a lot of that for the newsletter. But I can tell you that the next game will feature a day and night cycle, and it will basically have the bad guys basically gaining kind of the upper hand during the nighttime, which is going to be a more dangerous time for the heroes to move. So you'll be able to basically choose, how you're going to be adventuring, if you're going to be traveling, during the day, during the night. Kind of an interesting set of new mechanics. Being that Domain of Mirza Noctis is more of our dark fantasy, Ravenloft, if you will, if you think kind of like that type of a setting, vampires and werewolves and demons and all sorts of interesting things. So we are going to be introducing a new die. So in each of our games we introduce new dies. So that'll be a fun thing. We are also looking at doing kind of the items in a little bit of a different way. So we'll be showing that off in one of our newsletters. So I don't want to give away too much, but that was definitely a good question too. So let's see what else we have. Any date when part 4 will come out? So we don't have a date for that yet. In fact, we kind of rushed the Sands of Shurax to Kickstarter this year, and I don't want to make that same mistake again. It's not that we don't have the content ready, it's just it took me a lot of work to get the Kickstarter off the ground in the time frame that I had. So I think we're going to try and put a little bit more time into the gaps in between Kickstarters. But we'll see what happens. It depends on our team, and it depends on what we're able to produce. So hopefully I'll be able to continue to make this my full-time job, and it's not quite there yet, so I do other work on the side, and so that eats up away at my creative time. So what else? You have several questions posted to the forum on the website that are waiting for answers. I'm sorry. Gulf Coast Trains. I will have to look on our website to see. I didn't see any questions, but maybe I'm not getting the emails. I'll have to take a look at that. So I am sorry if I've missed your questions. The first newsletter will come out hopefully in November. We do have a little bit of work to do. We actually just finished the logo for Domain. So I'm really excited for that to be complete. But with so much more to do with the art phase of Sands, I want to make sure that I pour all of my attention into Sands so that we can get you guys the games as promised. When we did. All right. So then we have who are the other winners? Sure. So 1 second here. So let me see if I can sort by E. 1 second. Let me pull this back here. Okay, so here are those winners. Sorry that took me a minute. So we have waffles are the best. We have Dan, simply Dan. We have Ant Atkins, Gino Lucero, Samuel Lamb, and Wade Waffle, which is so silly because we have waffles are the best and Wade Waffle. Maybe I'm not pronouncing that right, so I do apologize if I'm not. But that is very serendipitous, I would think. So yeah, that's a great question too. We have not actually developed 4 yet. So these are all items that are on our to-do list. That question is a great one. We have had a conversation about how it will work in Domain. Obviously, as you play with multiple games, we modify the rule set so that those games work well together. So rest assured, we will be planning out how that all works, but we don't have that data yet. So what else do we have? Is the maze finalized? So Frank, yeah, we've added a little bit of scenarios to the maze. You're talking about the Black Pyramid. So we have added a little bit to that. We've added a couple of secret chambers that you can locate. And those secret chambers will actually allow you to move ahead by skipping content in the Black Pyramid. So there is a way for the heroes to actually move further ahead without going through everything. The secret passageways to get out, there are random secret passages to get out as well, so you won't always know when you can leave the pyramid. There are 2 exits in the pyramid that are static, and one of them is halfway through the pyramid. So if you don't find those secret exits, you still, if you can make it to the middle, you can get out as well. So that's that. Do you guys have any other questions for me before we call it a day? This has been awesome, by the way. I really enjoy talking with you guys and answering questions. I'm really excited that we have the opportunity to continue to make these games. We really pour our heart and soul into them, especially as it relates to all of the little things that can happen to your heroes along the way. We put a lot of time into, it'd be neat to see if this could happen, and then tie into that in another piece of the story. So awesome. So the core chest, not quite yet. I have, let me see if I can pull open, hang on 1 second. I might have something for you for the hero chest. It's really, so what I'm going to show you is pretty early. It was about a month ago, which was right after the campaign ended, after we started to kind of look at options. So it has progressed from here. So I'm not going to show you the progression, but I can show you likely a small piece of it at least. Yeah. Sorry, it's just taking me a minute to find those. It's not actually in my exports. Be right back with you guys. Thank you for being patient. Okay. So you can kind of see there, these are just early sketches of kind of what we were thinking for the box. We'll just kind of move right through them. We didn't lock on all of these. These are just pre-sketch concepts, but we did pull from each of them different elements to include in the box. So you'll be able to kind of see just kind of the basic art that we started to work off of, and as you can see, each one is a little different. Being that they're sketches, they're obviously not finished. They're simply just used for us to concept out how the box might look. So we hope you like them. We're definitely excited about the prospect of making it. I do have many of the pieces that go inside already completed, so we're really just kind of focusing on the texturing of the box for now. So yes, Frank, you're correct. So it was dark wood with like a lighter iron. Was how that poll came out. There were quite a few really good suggestions that were just the write-in suggestions. One was to make it look like a mimic, which I thought was really cool. One was to make it look like, well, the whole one with the coffin, that was more of an inside joke because Steven had mentioned that he wanted it to look like a coffin in the comments section of the Kickstarter, so I added that as a option, just for the fun of it. And there was actually quite a few people who wanted it to look like a coffin, so that was pretty funny. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with the hero box. Obviously, these are in progress, so I hope you like that. One other thing to mention is that we pulled from this box here the idea to include a gemstone for each of the 6 boxes. So there are 6 games in the series that we're planning, so each will have its own gemstone. And the fun thing about that is there's a legendary card in each expansion that is a shard. So we have the Mind Shard is located in the Forest of Adramon. We have the Life Shard is located in the Valley of the Dead King. To not give away too many details, we will be using those in a specific way in the end of the end game in the series. So I hope you guys like what you've seen. Thanks for allowing us to continue to move forward. So. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Good luck to the teams of your choice if you're a football fan, and have a great day. Enjoy your next week. Thanks very much.